Hi, how's it going, folks? So I can understand with the hectic news cycle, the way it's been. It's understandable that people might have missed the bit of news that Mark Glaze had committed suicide in the Lackawanna County Jail, I believe on October 31st, or at least it's what this Yahoo News article is telling me. Supposedly, he was charged with a DUI, fleeing the scene, and I think a few other things. But that's the information I have on that particular incident so far. I don't have any of the other details. Now, with that being said, I did notice one or two snarky comments some of the people on my side of the aisle had made in regards to his suicide. Now, with that being said, it wasn't near as bad as the abuse the gun controller heaped on Bob Owens after he committed suicide. Um, so, with that being said, I think there needs to be a few things that probably should be discussed on this topic. One of the things I do want to speak about, and this is not done in malicious intent, mind you, is one of the things that did get brought up in this Yahoo article. And they quoted some family members. Basically, what the family members had to say is that Mark did have a history of depression, anxiety, and alcohol abuse. Now, with this being said, I understand he did seek treatment for this. And good on him for at least trying to seek treatment for his issues. I'm not going to kick a man for trying to actually treat something that's going wrong in their personal life. However, I also notice that in my communications with gun control activists and, my observations of them, be it some of the things they say, the way they carry themselves, or even certain revelations about them and maybe their personal life or whatnot. I do notice that there's tends to be a lot of them that seem to have something off with them. You can't always tell what it is. However, I do notice that sort of thing. Now, I'm also not saying for a fact that something being off with them and their activism for gun control are linked causally. I have my own hypothesis on this, if you will. However, I only have limited evidence to back this up. But with one of the things that constantly gets advocated by the gun control side of things is they want, before anybody can own a firearm, for them to have mental evaluations. And usually what they're wanting is a license to own a firearm, and that in order to get that license and renew that license to own that firearm, they want mental health checks and psychiatric evaluations in order to get that license and maintain that license. And then you look at some of the things they say, the way they carry themselves, some of their behaviors, and even some of the revelations that get made about their personal lives. It really starts to become a pattern, or it really starts to, at least to me, seem to be the case that perhaps they know for a fact that they are off mentally in either they believe everyone else who wishes to own a firearm is somehow off mentally, or they think, the firearm itself is off mentally. I tend to believe that perhaps that maybe they have a certain set of issues going on with them, and they think that maybe people who wish to own firearms must also have a certain set of behavioral or mental health issues that are going on with them for merely wanting to own a firearm. Now, again, I don't have a whole scientific study to back this up. However, just from my observations, that's what it seems to be the case with me. And again, Mark's just one of the many gun controllers I've noticed has at least some sort of mental health issue going on with them. Um, Another such example, there's an activist for gun control that I've done a few previous videos on before. It's come out that this person has a substance abuse problem, has had a lot of hard times getting their lives in order, and seems to have taken their own mental issues and projected it on to the firearms owners community. I'm not going to say his name in this video. However, you can look at my history and see and guess probably who it is. Another one, and this person comes from ages ago, it seems, actually about a decade or two ago, is when I really think she had the limelight as a UK activist by the name of Lucy Cope. Now, in 1998, one of her sons was stabbed to death in the UK. I think it was 2002 or 2004. Another one of her sons was shot, I think around a nightclub or in a nightclub, outside a nightclub. I don't exactly know where. But I do remember that circumstances around both, there were some questions to be asked that were begged from the information that was given, to say the least. Then you also look at Lucy Cope's behavior. It does seem like that was off with her as well. Now, at the time that this was going on, handguns were already banned in the UK. What are you going to do? Ban them more? But yet, Lucy still decided that, their answer was even more gun control. So, that being said, those are a few cases, and I actually have more where it does seem like many of these big time activists for gun control do seem to appear off. But again, with Lucy Cope, go ahead and watch some of the interviews with her and some of the things she states, and look at how she carries herself, to say the least. One of the other things that was brought up in this article, and I do think this is definitely worth mentioning, is the family had stated, I believe, that suicide was the 10th leading cause of death in the United States. And what they'd said was that omission of the true cause was doing a great disservice to those who have committed suicide or are contemplating committing suicide. And I actually agree with this statement. You have to go after the root cause. While I know the argument is that these things make suicide a little bit easier to complete successfully, they're not the root cause. And even say, if you manage to get these out of the hands of everybody who is suicidal and you happen to save some of them from committing suicide and you haven't addressed the underlying issues, the root cause, well, those issues still remain. And at the end of the day, I think that going after the root cause, attempting to resolve the root cause, is a far more effective and far better solution. So, with that being said, I actually agree with Mark's family on this particular statement that they made. So, I'm going to wrap this up by saying I'm sorry about what happened. Um, Suicides are never pleasant, and oftentimes the departed leave behind people that care about them deeply. So I'm going to leave it at that. Folks, y'all have the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all take her easy out there and have a great day.